Well, hello there. My name is sometimes Heather and I play Elder Scrolls Online. I have a bit of a cold, so please excuse the voice. Last time, I took Adelaine, my Magicka Arcanist, also known as Mother of Roses, to the Infinite Archive to see whether her revamped build works. We did an okay job, I think so, today. I wanted to share her build in more detail. Adelaine is a dark elf, but Breton and high elf should work fine here too. We have all of our attribute points on Magicka and are walking under the Apprentice boom to maximum spell damage. We are also a stage 4 vampire, but that is not mandatory. Let's start with a quick look at champion points. In Warfare, my active stars are Master at Arms, Biting Aura, Thaumaturge and Untamed Aggression. In Fitness, I have Siphoning Spells, Rejuvenation, Fortified and Boundless Vitality. In Craft, I have gone with Master Gatherer, Treasure Hunter, Homemaker and Plentiful Harvest. Do choose the craft stars that make playing fun for you. Then, to skills. Adelaine is wearing the Oakensoul ring, so we only have one weapon, which is a lightning staff. First on this main weapon, we have escalating rune blades. This sends a series of runes to fly at an enemy to do magic damage which escalates in power. The last rune will explode to deal damage to all enemies around. Each cast creates a crux, one of those green things that float around arcanists. The more crux you have when casting escalating rune blades, the more damage the runes do. This is a fun spammer and pretty essential to arcanists. Next, we have a way to use up the crux we gather. Pragmatic Fate Carver allows you to channel a beam of energy which can be directed to any enemy around to deal a set amount of magic damage. Active crux will increase Fate Carver's damage and decrease its cost, so it pays off to have all three floating around. The cost of Fate Carver is determined by highest resource, which means that Magicka characters pay in Magicka, whereas stamina characters pay in stamina. This is also a cool spammer which really benefits from being paired up with rune blades. Then we have a scribed ability, Magical Explosion. I wanted something with lifesteal, so I crafted this. My Magical Explosion deals both instant and overtime magic damage to all enemies in the target location, while afflicting them with minor lifesteal, which heals Adelaine and her allies. This takes a bit of time to cast, so I usually open with this to eliminate downtime in combat. Next, I have gone with Inspired Scholarship. This etches runes upon your weapon to make it more powerful. Each pulse of the runes enhances class abilities. Using your weapon while it is imbued with the runes deals a set amount of magic damage and creates a crux if you have none. Inspired Scholarship lasts for 30 seconds, and while it is slotted on either ability bar, you get Major Brutality and Sorcery which boost weapon spell damage. I'd say this is pretty much a must even if you're wearing the Oakensoul which grants set status effects. Moving on to our last ability, which is Structured Entropy. This deals a set amount of magic damage to a single enemy over 22 seconds and also heals Adelaine for a bit every 2 seconds. I really like how this one combines healing and damaging and use it often on my vampires. Our ultimate is the Swarming Scion. This turns Adelaine into a giant monster and summons bats to swarm around, shredding at her enemies. Bless. Adelaine's abilities mostly come from Herald of the Tome, Destruction Staff, Mage's Guild and Vampire skill lines. I would recommend getting all passives from these skill lines, along with passives from Racial and Light Armor skill lines. I have given Adelaine 2 complete 5-piece sets, 1 Monster Helm and the Oakensoul. Let's start with the bling. The Oakensoul ring is a mythic item from High Isle. To obtain it, you will need to dig up 5 antiquity leads and combine them to form the ring. When worn, Oakensoul prevents you from switching weapons and grants you minor Slayer, minor Aegis, Empower, minor Courage, major Resolve, minor Fortitude, minor Intellect, minor Endurance, major Prophecy, major Savagery, minor Protection, minor Berserk, major Sorcery, minor Force, major Brutality, minor Heroism, and minor Mending. Phew, that's a mouthful. Oakensoul seems to have lost a bit of its charm lately, but I still like it. I have started to prefer one-bar builds actually, and so this mythic item has become my go-to. For our first 5-piece set, I stuck with Noble Duelist Silks. This set drops from Blessed Crucible, which is a base game group dungeon, totally soloable. I have this covering all armor slots. Noble Duelist adds to weapon and spell damage and stamina recovery, which is a bit odd for a light armor set. The 5-piece bonus increases your damage done by light and heavy attacks when you use them at melee range. This works really well for me since I have a tendency to barge right into enemies even while I could and should just keep my distance. Our second 5-piece set drops from Red Petal Bastion, a DLC group dungeon. For this, you need the Waking Flame DLC. Thundercaller adds to offensive penetration and weapon and spell damage. With a full set on, fully charged heavy attacks bring forth a Thunderbolt, which strikes at your target to deal a set amount of shock damage. The lightning also creates a crater which continues to deal shock damage to all enemies within reach. This is a super fun set and works pretty well with Noble Duelist Silks, since both require you to use heavy attacks. For our monster helm I chose Krak, since it adds to offensive penetration which boosts all damage done. Krak helm drops when you slay the last enemy in Fungal Grotto 1 in Veteran. This is also totally soloable even in hard mode. So, I liked Adelaine's build before, but now I like it even better. The new set and one scrapped ability brought more damage to her, and that made her more fun to play with. As a vampire, Adelaine is a bit fragile and easy to unalive, but in PvE that's not much of a problem. Keeping both as open and playing smart makes all the difference. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Next time, I thought we might take a look at cosmetics, such as new skill styles. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you all later.